Did you know that in Super Monkey Ball Jr. on the Game Boy Advance, if you enter the Konami code at the main menu, that being up up, down down, left right B A, the game's logo will change from Super Monkey Ball Jr. to Super Nice Try. Hello and welcome to Hidden Video Game Details, the series that aims to show you things that you may not have known about your favourite games so that you can look really clever in front of the genie from Aladdin. Don't forget to leave a like on this video, and if you do, I'll make sure to check in on your grandma when I'm next in town. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. Right, let's begin today's video with Borderlands 2. Now, in the last episode of this series, we discovered the Bane, a really annoying submachine gun. What makes this weapon so annoying? Well, listen to this. Now, whilst the sound of the Bane is like nails on a chalkboard, you can just turn the in-game audio all the way down and enjoy its relatively high damage, right? Well, not quite. So even after turning all of the in-game audio down to zero, the Bane will continue to make sound. There is no escaping the Bane. The other detail that I briefly wanted to revisit from that last episode can be found in High on Life. In that video, evil G3 villain Douglas told us to wait for an hour, and we did, just to see what would happen. After the hour was up, the door in the room conveniently broke, which means we never got to see what was on the other side, and if it was worth waiting all that time for. Well, if you head back to the room later on in the story, you can find that behind the screen was in fact nothing. I guess Douglas really is as evil as they say. Next up is a game that is really hard, but also really good. Cuphead has appeared in this series before, where we discovered that you could spare Ollie the Onion's life and he wouldn't hurt you. Well, today's Cuphead detail is much more devious. During the Bootlegger Boogie level, you have to beat all 4 members of the Moonshine Mob. In typical Cuphead fashion, this is easier said than done, with the Anteater in particular being a royal pain in the backside. Oh, and even when you do take him down, there is still a surprise in store. Now, just imagine, you'd spent hours trying to beat the Moonshine Mob, you'd taken down all of their members and finally beaten the Anteater. You're over the moon with your victory, but surprise, the boss finishes you off as you celebrate. It's an easy mistake to make. I mean, the knockout message even appears on screen, which usually means a level has finished. Like I said, this is a very devious trick. Next up is the surprisingly brilliant Marvel's Midnight Suns. Now, when Midnight Suns released last year, I really didn't give it much thought. I assumed it would just be an XCOM clone with a splash of Marvel paint thrown over it. But I'm not too proud to admit that I was wrong. There is so much to do in Midnight Suns that doesn't involve fighting. You can explore the Abbey grounds, make friends with your favourite superheroes, or just repeatedly pet Charlie the Hellhound.
Hello, my sweet girl.
There are also side quests that you can complete to gain new abilities and experience. One of these side quests is given out by Ghost Rider and Spider-Man, who asks you to collect components for them. Well, if you approach Spider-Man when looking for components, he will have several funny responses to your opening line of, "I have something for you." Here are just a few of my favourites.
I have something for you.
Oh, a Moon Knight action figure. A roll of quarters? The latest Spider-Man fanfic by Sloth Baby. An RSVP to my birthday? A t-shirt with "I Heart Spider-Man" above J. Jonah Jameson's face. Free pizza for a year? Oh, a hot tip on a rent-controlled apartment in Queens? A pair of cozy mittens? A video of a kitten with its entire head in a jar of peanut butter, and then a puppy licks the peanut butter off the kitten. 5 snarky articles about why New York pizza is better than Chicago deep dish? A piggyback ride? Tickets to next year's Stark Expo? Tickets to the Avengers musical?
Up next is Call of Duty Black Ops 1. Now, if I asked you to describe the zombies in Black Ops 1, what would you say? Mindless, dumb, handsome? Well, I'm here today to prove those first 2 assumptions wrong. I'll let you work out that third assumption on your own. The Ascension Zombies map takes place in a Soviet cosmodrome. That means, along with zombified Soviet scientists, you'll also have to deal with zombified Soviet soldiers. Now, you may think that it doesn't matter what the zombies did when they were in the land of the living. They're nothing but cannon fodder now. Well, take a look at how a scientist zombie reacts to you aiming your gun at it. So mindlessly shuffling towards you, without a care in the world. Typical zombie stuff. Well, here is how a military zombie reacts when you aim at them. So instead of stumbling towards you, the military zombies will actively attempt to dodge your line of sight. It's a really nice touch. Right, let's end today's video with the king of hidden video game details, Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, the first detail from Red Dead 2 is actually really sad. Gertrude Braithwaite was born into a relatively wealthy family, even if they did lose a lot of their riches when slavery was abolished, which should tell you what kind of people they are. Anyway, Gertrude was born disfigured and grew to be mentally unwell. She was in need of care, but fearing that having a child who needed such help would tarnish the family name, the Braithwaites locked Gertrude in an outhouse near Braithwaite Manor. It really is terrible, and of course you can visit Gertrude in-game, but aren't able to help her. Now, during the course of the True Love mission, you help Penelope Braithwaite run away from her family to be with her boyfriend. Well, if you take Penelope to the outhouse where Gertrude is kept, a couple of lines of hidden dialogue can be heard.
You don't want to mess around over there.
Where are you?
Leave her.
Who are you? Who's out there? Somebody's out there.
That's my poor cousin. There's no helping her. Believe me, I've tried.
Want a kiss?
I knew how you Braithwaites treated enemies. Now I know how you treat Ken, too.
It's a great shame on a family that's shamed already. I told myself she was better off here with family than in a sanatorium, but maybe she isn't. I'll do what I can from Boston for her.
Sure you will. God damn. Okay, you still got a train to catch.
Get me away from all this.
I think that what makes this detail so cool is that to take Penelope to Gertrude's outhouse means going the opposite direction that you need to go to complete the mission. It's this sort of world building that makes Rockstars the master of their craft. The final Red Dead 2 detail, and final detail for today's video, isn't as in-depth as the tale of the Braithwaites, but it is still really cool nonetheless. Whenever you're in a forest-like setting, you can hear the birds singing as they go about their day. Well, if you fire a warning shot into the sky, this will happen. So firing the shot will cause the birds to fly away, ending their singing in the process. It's a really, really nice touch. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. If you are a fan of Easter egg secrets and hidden details in video games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll speak to you all soon.